Let's talk about the Dark World transfers in Lord of the Rings Online. This is actually one of the most asked questions I still get, which is, when can we expect the Dark World transfers to happen? And I can finally tell you there is a timeline. Before I tell you that timeline, make sure you hit the subscribe button as it helps the channel so much, and I would greatly appreciate it. So basically, if you're not aware what the Dark World transfer process is, or what I'm even referring to, SSG or Lord of the Rings Online, they basically went on and said that they are going to open up the Dark Worlds, so any characters that you may have on them can now transfer over to one of the newer servers or pretty much revive your character in another sense. Dark Worlds are worlds that were shut down a long time ago. We're talking like years ago now, where essentially those servers got shut down because they weren't needed. And there was a time period where you could transfer your character off and go to a different server. But if you weren't playing LOTRO at the time, maybe you didn't get word of it, maybe you just didn't care. Well, now actually, for the first time really ever, LOTRO is allowing you to go on those old servers. Well, not really go on them, but you can at least transfer your old characters from those servers off of there. Yet again, they only allowed that when those servers that are now gone, when they first announced, those servers were going to go away, obviously they gave people a few months to transfer off, but now you can actually potentially recover some of your character data, or at least that character that was on a server that is now gone, and move them back onto another live server. So then that way they're around and they're not in this like forsaken hole of forever gone server Dark World areas. I know with me, I used to play a lot on Firefoot, and I am really excited to see if I even have any characters still on there, because I know there was like a lore master I made a lot on there. So let's see. But that is the thing, is when will we know, or when can we see? When will the transfer process happen? So the big hangup was that Sting had to release first, and Sting is officially now open for everybody. So if you would like to transfer onto another 64-bit NA server, Sting is now available to do so. But that also means now that Sting is open, they have an official timeline for the Dark World transfers. So here is what we're looking at. Transfers from Dark Worlds will begin on Wednesday, May 28th. The following is the date and order of opening, with all transfers starting once the game world opens from our weekly maintenance. So starting on Wednesday, May 28th, we have Firefoot, Silverlode, Meyer, and Estelle. So this essentially means that these Dark World servers, you can go and transfer your characters, your data, any items that you may have, and transfer them over to any server that is currently live. This could be a 64-bit server like Sting. It could be, any other server, really. Just anything that's a live server. They're giving everyone that option. And it starts with these 4 on Wednesday, May 28th. There's another set of 4 that will go live on Thursday, May 29th that you're able to transfer, which is listed as follows. Friday, May 30th, they have another set of servers. So they're pretty much going like 2 US servers, 2 EU servers, and opening those up every single day for the end of May, it seems anyway, on the weekdays. Then they'll take a slight break during the weekend. They probably, won't have enough people on. I mean, it is the weekend. The LOTRO devs deserve their break, right? Anyway, they will resume it on Monday, June 2nd with these 4 listed servers as well. And then Tuesday is the last day, June 3rd, where the last bit of servers that need to be accessible to transfer your characters from these Dark Worlds. June 3rd will be the last day that all of them will be officially up and ready to go. In terms of how long we can expect the Dark World transfer process to be open for, I'm not entirely sure. They didn't really label it or given a specific date on this, and I know that that date has probably changed from previous ones that were announced because Sting has taken a little bit longer to, get up and going and running successfully anyway. And then that's why that probably the Dark World date will probably get pushed back a little bit. My best guess would be probably around like fall or so. They might just wrap it up. So I would just say, just to be safe rather than sorry, and if I'm totally mistaken with that, just grab your characters off the Dark World transfers right now. If you're watching this video, you should probably hop on a LOTRO, go on those little Dark World servers that you can't really play on, but just hit that transfer button, all right? And then literally transfer it onto any live server. I don't care if you play that live server. I don't care if it's like your most played live server. You should just transfer them so that way you have that character and you have that data saved somewhere that you can at least access it. It's super important to do it because we might not ever really get an opportunity like this. And in fact, I'm shocked they even have any of this like backlogs worth of data from years ago still on people's characters. So I'm sure that they're not going to keep it once this sort of round of Dark World transfers is up. So just make sure you do it if you would like to get your characters from these dark old servers now. If you want to revive them, this might be your last chance, okay? That's honestly all I've got for you. I wanted to keep it short and sweet for you guys, but the timeline for the Dark World transfers have been announced. So make sure you're ready on whatever date that old like Dark World server that you may or may not have characters on. Just make sure you're ready that day to transfer them onto a live server just so you're able to check out that character. It would be so cool if you could recover a character you made back in like 2008 that you thought was forever gone. Well, now you might have a chance, and this might be your last chance, okay? I don't know, but it sounds like it probably would be. Anyway, I hope this gave you a little idea of when you can expect the Dark World transfers to open. And of course, if you'd like to check out some more LOTRO news, I feel like there's a lot happening this week. I have a playlist that you can check out down below or watch a few videos after this. But until next time, I hope you stay weird. Yo, weird weirdos.